Hey guys, I said that I'll try to do 2 movie reviews this month until Christmas. So, for this one, I decided to take a look at a Western movie that I've heard of and never seen. That movie is Tombstone. I've seen clips of this movie back when I was in high school, so on December 2nd, I finally got the time to watch it, and it's honestly one of the best Western movies. So let's talk about it. The movie's about a group of brothers named Wyatt, Virgil, and Morgan, who are taking a break with their wives at Tombstone, and they meet up with Wyatt's longtime friend, Doc Holliday. An attractive lady named Josephine Marcus comes in town, and Wyatt is attracted to her.
I stand corrected, Wyatt. You're an oak.
During this, a bunch of cowboys led by Curly Bill are causing trouble, and the mayor asks the brothers if they wanted to stop them. Wyatt declines, but after seeing them causing trouble, Virgil and Morgan become marshals. After the 4 guys take care of the cowboys, one of them cripples Virgil and kills Morgan. After sending his brother and the wives back home, Wyatt is now a marshal and is on the hunt to kill cowboys with Doc Holliday and some other helpers. The story is cliche, but it's really damn good. I know I say this a lot, but we've seen this story before. A town has gotten out of control and new people come to bring some peace and balance in the town. Hell, Roadhouse had a similar plot. Instead of 4 guys, it's just 1 guy. But that's a different movie. That and Sam Elliott stars in both films. That's nice.
The double douche.
But what makes this story work is the characters. Whether it's the dialogue or the actions they do, they are great. Wyatt is a guy who doesn't want to get involved and enjoy his time. Virgil is the kind of guy that wouldn't reject an offer and will take it in a heartbeat.
I told you we weren't getting involved.
You got us involved when you brought us here.
Morgan is the young one that doesn't know what to do, but he'll do whatever it takes to make peace with the town. Doc is someone that I'm sure we can all relate. He's that one friend that does something silly and we just put up with it. His dialogue with Wyatt is really great, and even at his end is really sad and can be emotional at times. The scenes with him and Katie are good and can go a bit too far. Think of him as a westernized version of Gomez and Morticia.
The horse is outside.
That's why you're not wearing a bustle. Sweet, soft, Hungarian devil.
The villains are really good too. Yeah, you could say they're generic, but they still manage to be fun and sometimes threatening. Look at this scene where Curly Bill shoots a marshal. You'd think he'd laugh it off and go on a killing spree. He's actually shocked by it and he didn't mean to kill him. That's something you don't see quite often. But with a good story comes good actors, and there are a ton of them. Kurt Russell is always awesome playing Wyatt. He can be charming and puzzled, but he can also be serious and kick a lot of ass, and I do mean a lot of it. My favorite scene with him is when he shows up to Ike and scares him.
The Cowboys are finished, you understand me? I see a red sash, I kill a man wearing it.
This proves that Kurt Russell is a great actor and you don't want to fuck with him. Look at what happened when someone tried to screw with him.
Yeah, fuck you too!
The lesson of the day is don't toy with Kurt Russell. He'll blow you away from Kingdom Come.
You tell him I'm coming! And hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Sam Elliott is another great actor. This is a role that I'm sure he can play in his sleep, and he pulls it off so damn well.
These people are afraid to walk down the street, and I'm trying to make money off that like some goddamn vulture.
Look at this scene where he realizes that he can't use his crippled hand.
Oh, really, girl? I still got one good arm to hold you with.
That's just amazing. He's about to be crippled and still manages to be charming. He doesn't care if he's going to be in the sling forever. He'll still manage to proceed and be with his wife.
All that smart talk about live and let live. There ain't no live and let live with bugs.
Bill Paxton is always good as Morgan. It's really sad that he died this year. He's always being silly and serious at the same time. Whether he's in a good or a bad film, he manages to pull it off. Rest in peace, Hudson.
Game over, man. Game over.
Val Kilmer is really good in this film. He plays a real person who is going through tuberculosis and still manages to do whatever he's got to do even if it kills him.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry. Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Dana Delaney was nice as Josephine. She's pretty and has an amazing speech on what she plans on doing with her life.
I don't have time to be proper. I want to live. I'm a woman. I like men. If that means I'm not ladylike, then I guess I'm just not a lady.
That and she may be a bad girl, at least to me.
Yeah, I'm an oak, all right.
Powers Booth is fun to watch. He'll kill anybody who looks at him funny. He can be drunk as hell and he'd still be intimidating.
No. Son of a bitch.
Michael Biehn was great as Johnny Ringo. At first I didn't know who the actor was, but after seeing close-up shots of him, I recognized him immediately.
Fight's not with you, Holiday.
I beg to differ, sir.
Hell, there were some actors that I didn't know were there, like Billy Bob Thornton.
God damn it, Junior! How many times am I going to have to tell you to keep that damn cigar out of my face? Christ almighty, it's like I'm sitting here playing cards with my brother's kids or something. You nerve-wracking sons of bitches.
Yeah, that's him right there. I couldn't believe it either. He looks chubby. Keep this in mind. This is 3 years before Sling Blade. To see him put on so much weight is really surprising.
Is that a fact? That's a fact.
I knew Stephen Lang played Ike and Charlton Heston played Hooker. But there's Thomas Hayden Church and Frank Stallone. With Thomas, I didn't know who he was until the second time he showed up.
Drunk piano player. You're so drunk you can't hit nothing. In fact, you're probably seeing double.
It took me 2 days to figure out what Frank Stallone played.
Son of a bitch. Hey, Billy, just settle down. Shut up.
I was too much focused on the movie that I forgot who the actors played. That's how good this movie is.
There. Now we can be friends again.
The music is nice and cool to listen to. Whenever there's a battle coming, the music flares up and you know it's on like Donkey Kong. The lighting and cinematography is fantastic. The sets are really nice to look at, from the saloons to the buildings and to the environment. The action is fast and cool to watch.
You die first, get it? Your friends might get me in a rush, but not before I make your head into a canoe. You understand me?
There are a ton of best scenes in this movie. I already mentioned the scene where Wyatt scares Ike at the train station. The scene where Wyatt meets Josephine was nice and funny.
What's your idea, Heather?
Room service. Oh, he's laughing again. That's what I want.
Ringo's gun trick was awesome to watch, and Doc does his trick with his silver cup. The other one is where Doc Holliday goes to fight with Ringo. As much as I like to see Wyatt fight him, I'm glad it's only Doc.
This time, it's legal.
All right, longer. Let's do it.
But I think my favorite scene is where Wyatt goes to see Johnny Tyler and puts him in his place. For one, it's another badass moment for Kurt Russell. The other is what he says to him.
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
For some reason, I keep laughing at that.
I'm getting tired of your gas. Now jerk that pistol and go to work. I said throw down, boy.
I'm sorry, it's just funny. It sounds like what a guy would say to a prostitute. Maybe that's just my sense of humor. Either way, very funny and badass at the same time.
Oh, what do you say, Milt? 25% of the house take sound about right?
Overall, should I recommend this to everyone? I really think so. I know there's a ton of Western movies. I mean, a lot. The first Western I saw was The Cowboys back when we were celebrating Christmas at my Uncle Steve's place, around 2 to 3 years ago. This one is the second Western movie I saw, and it's a great movie, and I can see why this is my Uncle Steve's favorite movie. He'll quote lines from the movie sometimes, and it shows why he loves it. Just like me, my favorite movie is Cocktail. I can quote the hell out of that movie. I've seen it as a kid many times and I still watch it, but that's for another review.
Coughlin's Law. Anything else is always something better.
Coughlin's Law?
Douglas Coughlin. Logical negatives.
There are a few ways I can recommend this film. If you're not a fan of Western movies, you're not gonna like it. That depends on what you think of it. If you're new to this genre and you have to choose which one, this one's not a bad choice. If you're a fan of Westerns and you're looking for another masterpiece, I highly recommend it. It's just your typical Western film with a lot of good action, great characters, wonderful cast, and a gem to have in your collection. Ride like the wind and take a look for yourself.